First of all, big thanks for the overwhelming response in the community post. Arm Wrestling Q&A part 12. I got so many questions that I have no other option but to make a couple of parts out of that community post. So here is the first part. And this time I didn't even select the questions myself so that the full video can be total impromptu. I asked my brother to select these questions and here is the first part. So no idea what is coming in front of me. Is there any possibility that Dennis is playing mind games by saying this current shape is equal to his shape when he faced John? Actually he didn't say that. He said that his current shape is not even as good as it was when he faced John. I don't think this is true. I even made a separate video about it. Dennis actually said that he's going to be in equal shape in which he was when he faced John in about a month time from now. So this technically means that he's about 15-20% weaker than what he was when he faced John Brzezinski, which simply does not make any sense. I think he's lying. Babkan said the truth. He said that Dennis is about 15% stronger than the John Brzezinski match. Is it possible that he's much stronger? Yeah, I think it is. Till November, will he become supermassive? Supermassive? I don't think so. I think he'll get up to 130 kilos for sure because Demolat is a big super match and Dennis needs to win this one as well, just like the 2018 left arm super match that these two had. 130 kilos, I think it's good enough because he doesn't train his legs now. What are your thoughts on freedom arm wrestling and arm sumo? Devon promotes them when he went to Japan. I thought it was exciting. Would you buy a pay-per-view of elite arm wrestlers doing freedom arm wrestling or arm sumo? I'm a YouTuber, so it's my job to buy every single pay-per-view. So yes, I will. Whether I'm excited about these two as much as I'm excited about regular traditional arm wrestling, no, absolutely not. But if it is arm wrestling, I can watch anything and everything. The Hunter, is Denis Cyplenkov really weak? Reference to his previous form, which he brought up against John. If so, very similar question. Is Dennis playing some sort of mind games? Yes, I think he's for sure playing mind games. Alright, what's the update about Kurdecha and Trubin? Why aren't they competing now? So, I messaged both of them. Dimitri Trubin hasn't read my message, so it must be lying somewhere in the message requests. And Alex Kurdecha has seen the message, but he did not reply. That's the first time Alex did not reply to my message. So, to me, it shows that not anytime soon. Or maybe he just wants to keep it a secret. He doesn't want to tell it to anyone because I made it clear that I'm asking it for a video. So no answer from Kurdecha, no answer from Trubin. Kurdecha did tell me a few months ago that be prepared for my left arm. That's what he told me. He said that he's going to shock the world with his left arm. When? I don't know. Do you think there will be long-term health effects by high amount of PEDs in arm wrestling right now? Yes, for sure, for sure. I don't think arm wrestlers are that smart about PEDs as some of the other athletes are in some of the other disciplines because they haven't had the urge or tendency or need to stop, cycle, get off the cycle. I'm not sure how these things work, but nobody's getting tested in arm wrestling, and it is a common belief that you need to get as big as you can, as strong as you can, which may be true as well. So yeah, there can be some health issues in the future. Fortunately, arm wrestlers are taking good care of it as of now. What do you think if arm wrestling is made a clean sport? I mean, without any steroids or drugs? Clean sport, yeah, many people are going to jump into that and say, well, it never works. So usually I put those type of people in two categories. They are either fans of juice head arm wrestlers or they are brainwashed by some of the promoters who say that drug testing is not possible. I think it's a cool thing. It should happen. Whether 5 out of 10 PD abusers get caught or 2 out of 10 get caught, as long as they are getting caught, which they will, because even at Olympics, they do get tested. In the disciplines that have been going on for almost 100 years, still people are getting caught. Even in 2021, they got caught. So don't tell me that arm wrestlers will find their way around the drug tests. Even the simple drug test, and which is applicable everywhere, everybody does that. That simple drug kit that costs like $60-70. I think every organizer can get that, but the promoters will never be honest and tell you that they cannot introduce drug testing even if they want to, because the famous arm wrestlers are all on gears and they will probably shift to another organization and their business model is going to get hurt. That's the only truth behind that. Top 5 young arm wrestlers according to you, and for how long do you see them fighting for a title? Man, that's a question that needs a lot of research. Should have probably done that before or seen this question before. Top 5 young arm wrestlers. Artem Morozov is for sure one of them. Dadikian, if we talk about the left, he's also 25 years old, so he's also good. Alijan Muratov is also like 27 only, so he has to be among one of them as well. If we consider arm wrestling, then Hermes Gasparini at 30 years is also a young arm wrestler. Although he's been arm wrestling for more than a decade, 1.5 decades almost. He is not young in any other sport. If we talk about athletics, he's probably at the retirement age already, but he's young if we consider arm wrestling. So I think I named 3-4 arm wrestlers. Who else? Ongarbayev is still pretty young, but I'm not sure if I'm going to put him in the top 5 or not. So yeah, that's basically a difficult question. Pradeep, who do you think has more endurance, Dennis or Devon? If the match goes in a hook, just like the Gennady match, I think Devon Ladd will be the one who will get gassed out first. I don't think Dennis is going to get gassed out in the hook. In top roll, I think Devon has more endurance. There are two types of gameplays that you have. Devon has an insanely exceptional amount of ability to tire his opponents out. There is one thing that you get gassed out yourselves, and there is one thing that you pull in such a way as Devon does that your opponents get immediately gassed out. In that aspect, Devon is much better than Denis Cyplenkov, because even in the third round, John gave some fight to Denis Cyplenkov, and against Devon, he clearly couldn't. When do we see a Pradeep super match? Rebecca Todd, RVJ's daughter, Devon's daughter. So no, if you're talking about female arm wrestling, females against me, then she has to be at least 60 kilos and a world champion. Or if not a world champion, then more than 60-65 kilos. And all of them, Rebecca, RVJ's daughter, Devon's daughter, none of them I think is above 60 kilos. So even if they were world champion in their weight categories, I don't think still they could beat me. On the left, for sure, I can guarantee a 65 kg world champion cannot beat me if I just train for a month. On the right, yeah, even the 55 kg world champions can beat me, but none of them are. Jake Ward, grand diet. Jake, I'm going to put that old man in a hook and beat him. But for him, I need to train a lot, like crazy. If that match happens today, I think he's going to destroy me. Simply destroy me, because he arm wrestles way more than me. Grand diet, I think he's been training like a maniac, and he's over 100 pounds. He's 100 kilos, not 100 pounds. So yeah, I think he should beat me. How do you think a Vitaly versus Hermes match would go? Vitaly Lalitin versus Hermes Gasparini. Hermes has problems against tall top rollers, but I still think he's strong enough. His arm is strong enough to beat Vitaly Lalitin. I don't think Vitaly's arm power is good enough to beat Hermes, even though his hand may be stronger than Hermes. Vitaly versus Morozov left confirmed. I saw a video of You Tamed arm wrestling in which Engin was saying Vitaly will pull Morozov. I have not seen that. That's news to me. So if that is confirmed, Vitaly Lalitin versus Artem Morozov, Vitaly is going to smoke Artem Morozov. He's going to kill him. That's what I think about that match. And it's going to be interesting if Morozov can force the hook or not. I think he can get close to that, because Dadikian in that practice pool almost forced the hook on Morozov. If Dadikian did that, on Vitaly, if Dadikian did that, then maybe Morozov can also do it, but it will be difficult. And if that doesn't happen, it's going to be a nightmare for Morozov. Which one of these prettiest flash pin? Bacho against Wardzinski. That was cool, surprising to see, shocking to see. Pushkar versus Chafee, aggressive. I wanted that match to stop, to enjoy it, just to enjoy it, but it never stopped. Same thing, Pushkar versus John Brzezinski. Muratov versus Gapchenko, never seen that match. Hermes flashing Kadurat, felt really good to see that. Matushenko flashing Arabuli. Got the first time got to see Matushenko pull in a super match format. So all of them were exciting, but Bacho versus Wardzinski was really cool. Do you think Lariat can be WAF champion? Does not matter clean or not. Clean or not, he's going to annihilate everyone. In WAF, if we're talking about a competition that is not drug tested, and let's say if Devon jumps into that drug tested event, I think he's going to beat all of them back to back. I think he's that strong on the right arm. All of them, line them up, and Devon is going to beat all of them. Even on the left, he's going to beat everyone and win the championship. So clean, When you've been using stuff for so many years, your natural testosterone gets absolutely shut, and I think you'll be in a really terrible shape if you are off everything. We saw how small Brendan Allen got once he got off the juice. So clean, it can be difficult. It can be difficult. Is flop press genetic? I think anyone can flop press after the match is stopped. Even I can do that. But initiating with a flop press, that may be the genetic part. And I'm sometimes surprised to see some arm wrestlers who cannot even flop press, who are world level, elite level arm wrestlers, and who cannot flop press even after the match has stopped. I think that should be an easy thing to do. But starting with a flop press is, for me, is like definitely a genetic thing. You need to have those strong elbows. Because I bench tricep, shoulder press, yeah, and your friend beats you. Understandable. What are your thoughts on upcoming match? Mazahir versus Ryan Bowen. Big match, big match. And Pro Punja League versus AWE, I think it's going to be great. Mostly for Ryan Bowen and his promotion, getting a lot of Indian fans. And for the Indian arm wrestlers, if they win, they're going to get some exposure at the world level because Ryan is going to promote this match. So Indian arm wrestlers benefit only if they win. Ryan versus Mazahir, I think Mazahir is going to be strong enough to pin him a couple of times, maybe even 3 times. But I think Ryan's endurance and his hand may be too much. Unfortunately, I'm predicting Ryan 4-3, but really cool thing to see. I'm not sure why many arm wrestlers, many organizations have not invited Indian arm wrestlers yet. This thing is going to blow up. If any of the Indian arm wrestler wins, I'm quite sure it is going to blow up. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll upload part 2 in a couple of days from now.